They called her just support on the ridge. A radio voice. A clipboard roll. Someone to watch the backs while the real guns went loud. Morning came thin and pale. Dust hung in the air like old breath. Pine sap burned sweet in her nose. She lay prone behind cold shale. The rock pressed into her ribs. Her fingers felt numb inside the gloves. Below, the squad moved slow. Boots crunching. Metal whispering. They joked to keep fear quiet. She heard it all in her headset. "You get up there, support." She swallowed. "I see you." Her scope caught the valley. Sunlight glinted off broken glass. A crow lifted, startled. Her heart beat steady. Too steady. That scared her more. She remembered the briefing. Hold Overwatch. Call threats. Do not engage unless ordered. The ridge smelled of warm stone and oil. Her rifle rested heavy and familiar. A laugh crackled on the radio. "Relax. Nothing out here but ghosts." She scanned again. Left to right. Breath slow. Something moved. Just a shadow. Or maybe a trick of heat. Her jaw tightened. She adjusted the focus. A face snapped into clarity. Eyes hard. Weapon raised. Her chest burned. Her mouth went dry. "Contact," she said. Her voice shook once. "Where?" She checked angles. Wind brushed her cheek. The ridge hummed with insects. "He's tucked near the wash. 200 out." "Stand by," came the reply. The shadows shifted. More shapes followed. Too many. She counted breaths. She counted lives. They still called her support. They still moved forward. A boot slipped below. A curse. Laughter cut short. Her finger found the trigger. She felt the metal bite. "Orders?" she asked. Static answered. The first shot cracked from the valley. It tore the air open. Her squad froze. Time folded tight. She saw the muzzle flash bloom. She saw the lead man flinch. Her mind screamed no. Her training whispered yes. One shot. Just one. The rifle kicked into her shoulder. The sound ripped the ridge apart. Her round cut clean. Through dust. Through breath. The valley went silent. "Who fired?" someone yelled. Her hand shook. Her ears rang. She tasted copper. She smelled burnt powder. Below, bodies scattered for cover. Alive. All of them alive. Anger flared on the radio. "Support, you are not cleared." She stared through the scope. More movement. Closer now. Her pulse hammered. Her guilt burned hot. "I took the shot," she said. A long breath hissed back. "You better be right." The ridge trembled under distant fire. The air thickened with heat and fear. She lined up again. Sweat slid into her eyes. They were coming fast. Too fast. Her squad looked up to the ridge. Waiting. Trusting. Her finger tightened. Her heart screamed. And then the radio cut out. Silence swallowed the ridge. No orders. No voices. Only wind scraping rock. Only her breath, loud in her ears. She blinked sweat away. The scope swam, then steadied. Figures surged from the wash. Boots pounding dirt. Shouts sharp and raw. She felt the ridge vibrate. Rounds cracked past her position. Stones splintered inches from her face. Her cheek pressed harder into the rock. Cold. Unforgiving. They had her now. Or they would soon. Below, the squad scrambled. One man tripped. Another dragged him up. "Move, move!" someone screamed. Her jaw locked. Her lungs burned. She wasn't support anymore. Not in this moment. She swung the rifle. Tracked a runner. Lost him behind smoke. Her mind flashed home. A kitchen table. A cracked mug. Then it was gone. A grenade thumped somewhere low. The sound punched her chest. "Ridge, talk to me!" A broken voice crackled through static. She pressed the transmit. Nothing. Her fingers trembled. She forced them still. Another target rose. Closer. Too close. She whispered an apology no one could hear. Her shoulder ached. Her teeth clenched. The squad reached cover. Barely. She exhaled. Lined up. Movement flared at the edge of her vision. Behind her. Gravel shifted. A breath that was not hers. Her spine went cold. She began to turn. Her elbows scraped stone as she twisted. The ridge felt suddenly small. A figure stood too close. Dust-streaked. Breathing hard. Not one of hers. His eyes locked on hers. Wide. Surprised. They froze together. 2 seconds. Maybe less. She smelled him. Sweat and cordite. His rifle lifted. So did hers. A shot cracked below. Another scream. Her squad was still in it. Still fighting. Her finger tightened. Muscle memory took over. The rifle thundered. The man dropped out of frame. Her ears rang. Her heart slammed. She sucked in air that tasted wrong. More footsteps scraped the ridge. More voices. Too close now. She rolled back to the scope. Hands shaking. Below, smoke swallowed the valley. Shapes moved fast. Indistinct. "Support if you hear me!" A voice rasped through faint static. She pressed the radio hard. "I'm here!" A beat. Then relief. Then panic. "We're pinned. We can't pull back." Her eyes burned. Her shoulder throbbed. Ammo ran low. She knew the count without looking. She scanned for angles. For miracles. A glint flashed near the tree lean. Another muzzle. She centered it. Held her breath. This shot would matter more than the last. Her finger began to squeeze. The trigger broke clean. Recoil punched her shoulder raw. The glint vanished. So did the return fire. For half a second, hope surged. Sharp. Dangerous. Then the ridge screamed back. Rounds tore the air. Rock exploded. Dust filled her mouth. She coughed. Kept the scope up. Below, the squad moved again. Dragging wounded. Covering each other. She felt it then. A heat along her side. Not pain yet. Just pressure. She looked down. Dark spreading through fabric. Her breath hitched. Anger flared hotter than fear. She forced herself upright. Pressed against the wound. "Go!" she whispered into the radio. "Move now!" "They're pushing!" someone yelled. She saw them cresting the wash. Too many silhouettes. Too close together. Her vision tunneled. The world narrowed to the scope. She steadied the rifle on shattered stone. Blood slicked her glove. Her name echoed in her head. Once. Twice. She had never heard it shouted like this before. The squad reached the tree lean. Almost clear. Almost. Her magazine clicked empty. She stared at it. Disbelief. Cold clarity. Footsteps rushed the ridge again. Fast. Confident. She reached for her last option. Metal scraped. The radio crackled back to life. "Support, say again." She smiled with a humor. "Tell them," she said softly. "I did my job." The shadow fell across her position. The shadows stretched long. Blocked the sun. She didn't look up. Her fingers closed around cold steel. The last weight she carried. Boots scraped closer. Breath loud. Too calm. "You're alone," a voice said above her. She tasted blood. Iron and dust. Below, the gunfire faded. Not gone. Just farther away. She pressed the radio once more. Static answered. Her chest tightened. Not fear. Something heavier. She thought of the ridge. How quiet it had been this morning. A hand grabbed her shoulder. Hard. Pain finally bloomed. What? Blinding. She gasped. The world tilted. The man leaned in, close enough to smell his breath. You should have stayed, support, he said. Her grip tightened. Knuckles slick. Far below, a shout rose. American voices. Closer now. The man stiffened. Just a fraction. Enough. She lifted her eyes to him. Not begging. Not afraid. The ridge shook again. The ridge bucked under another blast. Loose stones slid past her cheek. The man cursed. His grip faltered. Just enough. She drove her elbow back. Felt it connect. Felt bone give. He stumbled. Recovered fast. Too fast. A rifle cracked nearby. Close. Too close to be hers. The man froze. Confusion flashing across his face. She saw it then. Fear. A round tore through his chest. He dropped without a sound. She collapsed against the rock. Air ripped from her lungs. Above, a helicopter thumped in. Low. Angry. Dust roared across the ridge. The smell of fuel burned sharp. Voices shouted commands. Orders she didn't recognize. Hands grabbed her gear. Checked her wound. Stay with me, someone said. Her vision blurred. The sky spun pale and endless. She tried to speak. Only breath came out. Below, the valley finally fell silent. She heard boots running. Someone calling her name again. Louder this time. She focused on that sound. Clung to it. Because the ridge was still shaking. And she didn't know if the fight was really over. The helicopter drifted back. Then veered away. Not safe yet. Gunfire snapped again. Distant. Closer than it should be. She felt hands lift her. Then drop her back down. Wait, someone said. Her ears rang. Her teeth chattered. The ridge smelled of smoke and blood. Hot metal. Crushed pine. She tried to sit. Pain dragged her back. Don't, a voice warned. She searched faces. Blurred shapes. No names. Her radio crackled once. A ghost of a signal. Support, a familiar voice said. Her throat tightened. I'm here, she whispered. Silence answered. Another explosion rolled through the valley. The ground shuddered. They're regrouping, someone muttered. She stared at the sky. Too blue for this. Her fingers twitched. Still reaching for the rifle that was gone. A medic pressed hard on her side. She screamed despite herself. Almost got you out, he said. Almost. Shadows moved along the ridge line. More than before. Someone swore. Someone chambered around. She felt the stretcher shift. Then stop. Contact high, a voice shouted. Her heart lurched. She tried to warn them. Tried to point. Her arm wouldn't lift. The ridge went quiet again. That dangerous quiet. She locked eyes with the medic. Saw the truth there. Not yet. The first shot cracked from above. The shot snapped past them. Close enough to feel. The medic ducked. Swore. She felt the stretcher jerk sideways. Stone tore at her back. Up the ridge, someone yelled. Too late. Another round slammed rock. Shards bit her cheek. She smelled ozone. Hot. Sharp. Above them, movement flickered. Just silhouettes. Her mind cleared in a sudden rush. Cold. Focused. She knew that angle. She had owned it all day. Her hand crawled across gravel. Searching. Empty. Gone. Her rifle was lost somewhere behind smoke and blood. Cover fire, a voice shouted. There was none to give. She looked at the medic. Then past him. Up the ridge. A narrow cut in the rock. a blindfold. "They'll push there," she said, her voice barely sound. He stared at her, not hearing. She forced the words out again, louder, harder. "They're coming from the left." A second later, a shadow moved exactly there. Someone cursed. A rifle swung. The ridge erupted. She closed her eyes as the noise tore through her. Felt pressure lift. Felt heat rush past. When she opened them, the medic was gone. Smoke rolled low. Thick. Suffocating. She was alone again. Her radio crackled once. A whisper buried in static. "We see them." Her chest rose in a broken breath. She tried to answer. Tried to move. The stretcher tilted. Edges slipping. Below her, the ridge dropped away. And somewhere above, boots started running. The boots came fast. Too sure. Gravel rattled down the slope. Each sound a countdown. She dug her fingers into the stretcher straps. Plastic bit her skin. The drop yawned beside her. Air rushing up. Cold and endless. She tried to roll away. Her body refused. Above, a shout cut through smoke. Not English. Her radio sparked alive. Faint. Fragile. "Hold on," a voice said. Strained. Close. A shadow leapt into view. Boots landing hard. She saw the barrel swing toward her chest. Black. Wide. Her hand closed on something metal. Not the rifle. Smaller. She didn't think. She never did at the end. The ridge shook again. The blast lifted the air. Threw grit into her eyes. Sound vanished. Then slammed back all at once. Heat washed over her face. Not pain. Just force. The shadow disappeared. So did the boots. Her ears screamed. Her vision pulsed white. She lay there breathing smoke. Burnt metal. Scorched earth. Someone shouted her name. Right above her. Hands grabbed the stretcher. Dragged it back from the edge. She coughed hard. Blood flecked her lips. "Easy," a voice said. Urgent. Shaking. She tried to focus. Faces swam into shape. American patches. Dusty. Real. Gunfire rattled again. Closer now. Angrier. "They're still pushing," someone yelled. She lifted her head an inch. Every nerve screamed. Beyond them, the ridge line moved. More shadows. More figures. She opened her mouth to warn them. The world tilted. The sound dropped out. And everything went dark just as another shot cracked above the ridge. Darkness didn't mean silence. Sound crept back in pieces. A rotor chopping the air. Shouts layered over shouts. Her eyes fluttered open. Just a slit. Sky. Then smoke. She felt herself moving. Lifted. Rushed. Pain pulsed in waves. Distant. Almost polite. Someone yelled coordinates. Someone else cursed the ridge. She tasted dust again. Felt cold air on her face. A hand squeezed hers. Hard. "Stay with me," a voice said. She wanted to answer. To say the ridge wasn't clear. That it never was. Her lips barely moved. Through the haze, she heard it. Footsteps. Running. Too many. Too close. The helicopter dipped. Then rose. Gunfire chased them upward. Climbing. Hungry. Her vision narrowed to sound alone. One last crack echoed from the ridge. Sharper than the rest. And she didn't know if it was aimed at the sky or at the men still fighting below. The helicopter cleared the ridge at last. Wind tore the smoke apart. The valley shrank beneath them. Gunfire faded into memory. She lay strapped down, breathing shallow. Still alive. A medic leaned close. His eyes were tired. Respect lived there now. "You saved them," he said. She tried to shake her head. Didn't have the strength. Below, the ridge stood quiet again. Scarred. Unforgiving. Later, they would talk about numbers. Angles. Timing. They would say the squad made it out intact. They would say one shot changed everything. But no one would talk about the smell of pine and blood. Or the weight of the trigger. Or the moment rules stopped mattering. They would call her support in the report. Just a roll. Just a line. The helicopter banked toward home. Sunlight washed the cabin. Her eyes finally closed. Not in fear. Not in regret. On the ridge, she had been more than support. And somewhere deep inside, she knew that was enough.